Greetings. I'm back. Am I back with audio working or not? We're about to find out. Does the audio work? Does the audio work? Yay, we got it. Yippee. Okay. Oh jeez. I just got I got this like 20, 30 people in the last day or two have like sent me friend requests, and I accepted them. You know, they were friends of friends and trans people mostly. And boy, I haven't blocked any of them yet, but I sure unfollow them quick. They spam the fuck out of me. Here's one. Here's one wants me to uh, like a page, Psychic Readings by Sienna. No, come on, leave me alone. um, oh, we've already got an idiot. Ooh, this is calling from a real number. But it hung up. That's probably why it hung up. Probably should call it back. Oh, North Carolina, could have been Ariana. It wasn't though, different area code. Different area code. Anyway, hello, ear consent. Do I know you, or are you just someone who's like been here in the past and not for a while, or do I know you in real time? So anyway, the news. Shit, I was in the middle of something with somebody. I don't want to. The news has been just so full of like wild shit. I haven't even had a chance to go back and look at some of this stuff. Here's a YouTube video. The Lolita Express. Hello. I didn't understand what you said. Probably who's calling? Who am I speaking with? No, your most favorite Jew. Who's calling? Who? Is this like an autist character? No. Who am I speaking with? Oh, you. Goodbye. Anyway, the news has just been so full of crap. All sorts of like really like just like mind-boggling what we've allowed to go on in this nation for the last 55 years by my reckoning. I really don't want to talk to you, dude. God, I don't want to talk to a drunkard or whatever the fuck is wrong with you. Just, piss off. So here we go. This is just like in the last hour or so. The Lolita Express, Clinton's Secret Service agent threatens damaging info on former president. I mean, like, yes, he was on board that plane like 20 times, and the crew has confirmed it, and the Secret Service, and there was underage females on board. What the fuck is with this number? I go to answer it and it disconnects. Let's see what happens when I call it. Tommy. That's why it cuts out. Oh. I guess that isn't going to work. Whoever the hell that is. Google Voice. Well, hello, MA. Hello, Mike. It's an evening. There's just so much, like, mad news. I haven't done this in a long time. I just feel like I need to go through some of the stuff that is in my feed tonight. Like I was saying, this is in the last hour. Fuck you. I'm not going to pick it up from a restricted line. You can call from some masked number at Google. I'm not picking up any of this. So anyway, there's Epstein and Clinton and Trump are all like everybody's in trouble with Epstein. That was one of the things we'll look at from earlier. It's his Black Book, Epstein's Black Book. Here's a lovely one. Serious, dude. I'm not going to talk to you. Migrant kid, if you want to talk to me, you're going to have to ask from a restricted line. You're going to have to ask in the chat. Migrant kids in overcrowded Arizona border station allege sexual assault, retaliation from U.S. agents. Oh, good. It's shutting down. I didn't realize it was that low on juice. I'm such a dumbass. Okay, well, this is a Rachel Mad Cow report. I wonder why it shut down. Uh-oh. Hello.
Hi, this is Ricardo from Bluesman.
Hi.
I got your voicemail that the card on file that you gave us should be activated now. Can I go ahead and try charging it?
Yeah. I was.
Okay.
I tried. Yeah, that was why I called back. I talked to Jessica earlier. It should. Yeah, I was going to call back at about 5 o'clock, and I forgot, and then I realized, oh, well.
Awesome. Yeah, I read through the ticket, and it looks like I saw all the notes on it. So the amount on there is $60. Is that okay to charge?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do that right now.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, it went through, and I have that card that you gave us set to automatic. So the next time the bill comes around, it'll automatically charge that card, right?
Right, and if it changes numbers again, I'll try and remember to contact you before you try and collect on it.
Okay, all right. Awesome.
That's what happened. I forgot to like cancel the old card and give you the new number.
Yeah, it's not a problem at all. I mean, the only thing on there is it'll shut off automatically after like 5 days, but we can put an extension or we can get the new card on there. It's really not a big deal, but it should be good to go now, and I have that card on set to automatic, so
oh, cool. Thanks so much.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. I get such great service. I got such a great service. A dish on the roof, and this is much bandwidth as you can suck through it. Just whatever you want to suck through it, up or down. Up is not real quick, but down is. But anyway, let's get back to the news. This is like some wild shit today. I'm not answering any restricted lines unless you ask me in the chat for like to pick it up. Serious. Just don't even bother. I'm not going to pick it up if you don't ask for permission in the chat. So anyway, back to this shit. This is the migrant kids in a sexual. This is just awful. The poor treatment of migrant children at the hand of. I shut the fucking thing down. At the hand of U.S. border agents in recent months extends beyond Texas to include allegations of sexual assault and retaliation for protests, according to dozens of accounts by children held in Arizona, collected by government case managers and obtained by NBC News. A 16-year-old Guatemalan boy held in Yuma, Arizona, said he and others in the cell complained about the taste of the water and food they were given. The Customs and Border Protection agents took the mats out of their cell in retaliation, forcing them to sleep on hard concrete. A 15-year-old girl from Honduras described a large bearded officer putting his hands inside her bra, pulling down her underwear and groping her as part of what was meant to be a routine pat-down in front of other immigrants and officers. The girl said she felt embarrassed as the officer was speaking in English to other officers and laughing during the entire process, according to a report of her account. 17-year-old boy from Honduras said officers would scold detained children when they would get too close to a window and would call them puto, an offensive term in Spanish, while they were giving orders. Earlier reports from investigators for the Department of Homeland Security Office of the Inspector General from the El Paso and Rio Grande Valley sectors in Texas detailed horrific conditions for children and other migrants held in overcrowded border stations where they were not given showers, clean change of clothes, or places to sleep. The reports from the Yuma CBP sector describe similar unsanitary and crowded conditions, but go further by alleging abuse and other discomfort by CBT officers, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. And we let it go on and on and on and on, and enjoying our privilege. Well, I gotta choose my battles. You know, everybody. I don't. I'm not buying into a lot of the heavy offense. Oh God, man, I'm not buying into a lot of heavy offense people are taking at people like Copernic or anybody else. You know, for over stuff like that. You know, you know, serious. You know, I'm not picking up the phone for an idiot. So hello, God, man. Moving right along. This is just like my feed is. This is the winner. This is the winner. Who knows about the? There's an event at the White House. Day after tomorrow, called the Social Media Summit. The Trump administration here. This is from Media Matters for America. It's probably heavy left wing thing. The Trump administration has invited multiple right wing figures and conservative groups to a social media summit slated for July 11th. Some of these figures have ties to white nationalists and far right. Why the fuck is this doing that? My phone keeps cycling for some reason, all on its own. I call and I get a call and reject the call, and then the phone just reboots. So anyway, some of these figures have ties to white nationalists and far-right figures. Others have pushed extremism and conspiracy theories themselves, such as the QAnon conspiracy theory, anti-Semitic attacks on George Soros. Soros and who the fuck was it? Was it Soros and Koch? Because Koch got together or something? Koch brother. So I'm gonna need to find that. That's from a couple of days ago. There's just been so much going on since the Gettysburg Address, and then my feed's just been totally like inundated with airport Continental Army aircraft. Mick Jagger took a shot at him. Said that it might have gone differently if they had been able to hold the airports. Anyway, Trump administration to hold media summit. The White House announced a social media summit. And this is actually, I guess this happened last month that they made the announcement. Yeah, it's from June 26th they made the announcement. The White House will host digital leaders for a meeting next month amid President Donald Trump's escalating attacks on Google. Who's got this number? Hello? Not even heavy breathing? Anybody there? The social media summit set for July 11th will focus on the opportunities and challenges of today's social media environment. today's online environment. White House spokesperson Judd Deere said, the announcement came the same day Trump said the federal government should file lawsuits against some of the tech giants. The president has accused Google, Facebook, and Twitter of being biased against him and other conservatives, a charge the companies have repeatedly denied. It's funny, us people on the other side of this, and I don't even consider myself left-wing. The left-wingers get upset with me. So I'm a staunch middle of the roader, and I feel like I'm being discriminated against. Heavy bias. Hello?
Hello?
Who's calling, please?
Kyrie?
Bye. Yeah, bye. Seriously, motherfucker. Watch how quickly just block this. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you people at all. You're sick motherfuckers and I want nothing to do with you. Ay, ay, ay. What's this about who's Desmond? Oh, well, now I see. From what I've seen of both of those youngsters, I don't think either one of them is transgender. Drag queens, gay guys. And I think it's wonderful that gay kids can be happy. I think it's, that and make good money. Make good money doing drag. Drag is what do I want to say about drag? It gets a bum rap, but they raise a lot of money for charitable causes. Say the Southern Arizona AIDS Foundation does free HIV and STD screening and needle exchange programs and stuff like that, and it's all on money raised by drag queens. But more to the point is I'm seeing the first generation of queer kids happy in my lifetime. When I was Desmond's age, I couldn't act like that at all. Right? I'd just be constantly getting into fights and getting beat up by my parents. It's just so beautiful to see families with queer kids that are happy. My generation, nobody transitioned until they were in their 20s at least and could get away from their families. And Boy, I see such a change in the just the mental health of the queer personals, LGBTQ personals, the trans personals, people talking about themselves. That's what brought me out, was to see all the video blogs of the kids and the documentaries on the kids, and seeing the young adults doing video blogs of their transitions. It's incredible stuff going on now. It's really fabulously beautiful children, trans men and women. Incredible talent out there. So, yeah, Desmond and Queen Lactatia, good on them. Good on their parents for encouraging it. Right now, jazz is jazz, but right now, Kim Petras is like just blowing the doors out everywhere. She's playing at packed houses. Zero. She looks like a real woman. Is a really like not right thing to say. That's one of those things you just don't say about, it's just like not a nice thing to say. There's just some amazing, when the hormones, when they I know, it's problematic for me as like an old bird that is, I'm an old hippie, and we're into like what they call respectability politics. Screaming and shouting and punching Nazis just isn't like productive to the hippie mind. It's not something that is like politically constructive. It's just a bad choice, especially the punching Nazis part. We need to just shine, just be ourselves and be real and just counter the bullshit with the straight dope. That's one of the things in my newsfeed today that was pretty decent. I just felt like I had a nice fat sack of weed, and there's just been so much going on in the news since the 4th of July. Today was just like one thing after the other, with Epstein getting arrested, and his little black book got published today. Let's move down. There's just so much. Oh, well, we were reading on this. This is like I got interrupted from this. I have to wonder if any right wing or left wing figures have been invited to this summit. Facebook and Twitter were not invited to the summit. According to a July 7th CNN report, the White House has not extended invitations to Facebook and Twitter to attend its social media summit on Thursday. I wonder if they're going to live stream this shit. Boy, there's I haven't checked this out. I'm having dust problems. The pollen's gone, and downtown today is real dusty because they're doing a lot of construction. There's a couple of big buildings going up, and the I don't know if it's they're rolling out 5G in little poles all around town. That looks scary. They're putting up some kind of wireless shit all over downtown. So I've been having some dust problems today, and I really need to avoid smoking tobacco. This is weed. Okay, yay. I had a little hang up today. I'd lost my debit card last month, and they tried to bill it, and it couldn't go through from my internet. And it got shut off today because I thought they had successfully charged the account, but they didn't. They were sending me the invoice saying that they hadn't. Anyway, back to this. Multiple right-wing figures have been invited to the summit. Individuals and organizations that have said they were invited to the summit or been confirmed to attend include conservative radio host Bill Mitchell, a right-wing meme maker known as Carpe Donktum, Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, right-wing propaganda YouTube channel Prager University, pro-Trump cartoonist Ben Garrison, human events publisher Will Chamberlain, Media Research Center founder Brent Bozell, conservative think tank the Heritage Foundation, Students for Trump co-founder Ryan Fournier, right-wing personality Ali Akbar, also known as Ali Alexander, discredited citizen journalist James O'Keefe, Representative Matt Gaetz, and Senator Marsha Blackburn. And this was all reported like in the last week. I don't want to read into details on these people. They're just scum. They're Nazi scum. They're just like, just have evil things to say about people, and because of like what they are. Black people are a threat to everybody. Queer people are the gay agenda endorses the right of gays to marry and teach children. And that's in utter opposition to mainstream America. Mainstream America is either seems to be either completely disinterested in the argument, or is like wishing that people would stop hating queers just because they're queer. So enough of that shit. Unless somebody knows anything about that. Yeah, no, it's not COPD. I have allergies, dust and pollen allergies, and I today was real fucking dusty. I was downtown at lunchtime, and they're just like there's construction everywhere. And I don't help it by smoking tobacco. Garrison. I don't know who Garrison is. Let's see what Garrison has to say. Oh, Garrison's the cartoonist. Cartoons used by white nationalist far-right figures. Regularly laud Trump targets perceived enemies, help white nationalists spread their message online by coding the themes of racism, anti-Semitism, misogyny, and layers of humor and irony. The report also noticed that work regularly features at the top of the popular subreddit, The Donald, has been shared by Mark Cernovich and Julian Assange. Another profile from Wired noticed that his cartoon constantly trend on alt-right social media platforms like Gab. Garrison has ties to multiple right-wing figures: Push the Pizzagate conspiracy, Paul Joseph Watson, Stepanini, all these jerks. All these jerks. Push the hoax. They don't say anything about any crimes that he's committed. He pushed the Seth Rich conspiracy theory. What kind of crimes has he committed? Yeah, I know. I need to quit the tobacco altogether. Um, I my shrink is looking for a hypnotherapist. I tried the gum and that's not working. Um, uh, okay, so moving along. Oh, this was the other. A couple of weeks ago, they found $1 billion worth of cocaine in shipping containers, and they just seized it. This week. They found the boat was owned by J.P. Morgan, with $1 billion worth of coke in it. Aspartame is neurotoxin. We know that. If you drink diet soda, you're just killing yourself. This was cool here. This was like, I guess the CNN was, the Los Angeles anchors for CNN were broadcasting when whoops. I eat too well. That is my problem. No, I'd eat less if I had somebody to get naked with. That's the best physical condition I ever was in my life, is when I was living with somebody. What are we doing here? What the fuck was I doing? Okay. Oh, that's what we were doing. We're getting you this. That was, they were broadcasting during the earthquake, and they just kind of looked at each other and they're looking at the ceiling and like talking about. I think it's. I don't eat that much from the dumpster anymore, and you have no idea. You have no idea what I get from the dumpster, because I get fresh food. I get packaged goods that have never been opened. I get produce that's just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Wash it, we're good. I've never gotten sick from dumpster food. And my problem is that when I'm depressed, I eat too much and don't get enough exercise. And I've been like pretty alone for a while. I had to put some distance between myself and that 420 family, and few friends I have around town live like in other places, and I don't see them that often. It's just the 420, the Saturday show was a gathering point. Ha! I haven't worked out in over 30 years. I haven't actually worked out in over 30 years. Oh, I've posted a lot of shit over the years, man. I've posted a lot of stuff. I get clean stuff right out of the garbage. I'm not kidding. I got let me here. Let me get you a link. I haven't posted there much lately. 11 posts a year. There's a bunch of people been posting in here. Here's here's a photo. A real typical haul. Check out this group. What's going on here? I'll just read the news. Someday. It's not something I really want to talk about much, the 420 family in public. Oh. That's too long. And I definitely don't want to name names. But there was too much drug and alcohol vibe, and too much sexism, and too much homophobia, transphobia, and there was an incident. There were actually several incidents, but there was one real bad one, and I've never been back. Someday I'll give you a house tour when I get the house in order. This is just too much of a mess right now. Well, but it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. I wasn't the only one that had issues with the people close to the band. They're very cliquish, and some of them are like straight up fucking transphobes. Seth, what makes you think that you're trans, Seth? Planning to be, I don't know, you know, I'm one to talk about how everybody's different. Everybody sees it out. Most of the people I know knew that something was wrong young. And some of them, you know, they responded differently to it. Well, go friend me send me a friend request at Facebook. But don't play me, man. I've been trolled by fakes before, so I'm not gonna like. I get real cold. Got played by a fake not a couple of years ago, a year or two ago. Played us hard. Me and somebody else played us real hard. Here, send me a friend request at Facebook. Yeah, sure. I'm not gonna put you on speaker until I know I can trust you. Why did this bitch shut down? It may not. It may be me, but I don't think so. But it might be. I don't know. But you know that they have distorted whatever it was that they found on it. I've seen a little bit of it. Uh, yeah, go ahead, call. I've seen a little bit of it, but I really, it's just so inconsequential. It's 30 years ago. Okay, well, that didn't work. Yeah, I know who Peter Damien is, and I'm certain that they did not get a statement from Peter Damien that badmouthed me. Hello? If that's you calling, it's not working. It just hangs up. Uh, Hello? Is this who? Is this Seth? Who's Jax? I don't know who. Yeah. Well, you wanted to ask me some questions. You mean the containerized cocaine going through Philly? Is that what you're asking about? Um, Seth, I'm not going for this. Happy day, Dan. Bye. Yeah, Peter had a band called Street Smart. That played at sunset time every day. And it was a focal point for the whole community. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it was a focal point for the whole community. That's where we all hung out. I'm not picking up the phone right now. Fuck the phone. Um, Sir.
Why are you so mad at me? I
I'm
apologize.
not interested in communicating with you at all. I insist that you stop calling. I blocked this number. I don't want anything to do with you. Goodbye. Hello, Mark. So anyway, yeah, fuck the phone. I'm not picking up the phone right now. Uh, you know, go ahead, Mark. Go ahead, ask a question. No, I've never done mayonnaise and peanut butter. What do you want from me?
I don't understand why you're so mad at me, sir.
Well, that's a good way you start by calling me sir. That's one thing. That's one strike against you. I'm not a male.
I apologize.
What do you want from me?
I've gotten bestiality from you before.
That's what I thought. Goodbye. You need to stay away from me. I'm reporting all of these numbers to the police. Goodbye. Oh yeah. I need to turn off the phones. Tyree, I don't know. He's just some weird dude. He's just put one of the. I don't know. But there's about 4 or 5 people that call me. Carrizo called recently. He hasn't disappeared. He's probably at the gathering and hasn't come out of the woods yet. I need to block these numbers. Okay, where were we? Wow, those. Um, um, Peter had a partner by the name of Herb Painter, who was also known as Phoenix, who played a fish horn like I have, little soprano curve, soprano sax. And they were basically a duo that whoever was coming down the street that wanted to stop and play with them played with them. And the band was called Street Smart. And gosh, they were together 1982 when I first came to Beats. The video that they seemed to have was from 1985 or 86. And the people around Street Smart wow. Like I said, it was focused for the arts, the street artists that hung around the Mid Beach area around Sunset. Peter used to play in front of the Fig Tree Cafe. So go ahead, Gutter Punker, Gutter Punk Jr. No. The only big star I ever actually met was Joe Cocker. I've been in the same place at the same time with a number of others, and I don't want to rattle off their names. The Woodstockers, I've been at parties, special concerts, private concerts, and shit. Like Melanie gave a private concert for the cleanup crew at the 20th Woodstock. But actually met and jammed with him was Joe Cocker. I really don't know. I haven't had teeth in so many years. So I lost the last of my teeth to the mountain, the cliffside in 1999. So I don't use a toothbrush. I just wash my mouth out. What's a beautiful area? You mean the Sunset area? Um, no, I don't know who Bougie Boy is. So anyway, I really want to talk about all this awful news. I haven't even gotten to Epstein yet. I've known a lot of people named Karen. What's up with that, dude, is if you don't like stop fucking repeating the fucking nonsense that those people are generating about me, I'm gonna block your fucking ass. And Seth, you're done. You know, um, if you want to ask me questions, I'm not gonna answer questions like that. That's I suggest you go see it. You can be sure that anything they fucking say isn't true. Anything they're saying about me is either total fabrication or distortion. Don't even fucking bring it to me. I want to hear about it. I really don't want to hear about it. If you persist, I will block your ass. The I don't think that people realize the extent of the secret societies that are, yeah, well, you want to ask advice like that, you're going to need to get, check with me at Facebook. Here, contact me at Facebook. I'm not going to talk like that shit in public, and that's a crazy talk. Because they don't cut it off, for one thing, they invert it. I have a feeling Seth is full of shit too. Anyway, back to the news. Strike three, you're out. I'm not a sir. You're done. Thanks, Top Dad. How old is Karen? I know Karen in Glencoe, but was one of the partners in Real Things back in the 90s. I'm not a guy. I'm not a guy. Please don't refer to me as bro. I thought I blocked this number. 1999. That's when my dreams hit the wall. Who's calling, please? Who? I think you have the wrong number. That behind me, that's the transgender flag. That's the only one. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Yeah, you want to buy some stones? Really, I'm not picking up the phone. I'm not picking up the phone from any of you. Seriously. So fucking, I just turned the phone on. Yeah, transgender. I was reading the news. That's okay. Oh, jeez. I got these. No. No. I'm sorry. You know, these people are just like spamming the shit out of me, and their friends are sending me friend requests. I'm not gonna. No. 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 People are just trying to sell me shit. Hey, well, do you have wheels now, Mark? Was that the only vehicle you had, or do you have another? You're done, motherfucker. Let's see if I can find that clown's account. I don't know if any of you saw that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a Kiwi farmer. That's a Kiwi farmer. Let's report this piece of shit. Oh, I already had him blocked. How the fuck, if I got somebody blocked, how in the fuck can they get in the chat? Nope, that's not going to work. Oh, just that fast, man. I'm not going to put up with that kind of stuff. I don't know what the Goonies are. Isn't that some cartoon characters or something? I don't know. I haven't had TV in 15 years, and I've hardly watched any since the 1980s. Same with movies. Yeah. No, I don't think. I know I haven't watched 10 movies since I ditched my television. Not 10 feature films since I ditched my television in 2004. Man, I was on the road from 1982 to 1999, and I was pretty much off the grid. Didn't listen to television, to TV, radio. Yeah, so these are just trolls that want to harass me. Let's see what this one's got to say. I gotta get the earbuds in. So is anybody here? What? I didn't have my earbuds in. What? I'm not understanding a word you're saying. Would you repeat that, please? You're not making sense. What are you saying? What are you talking about? You haven't got no money. Yeah, I know I have nice boobies. You haven't got no money to fucking know. I really don't want to talk to people like you. Goodbye. So anyway, back to the news. Where were we? Cocaine, aspartame, earthquake guys on TV. Mad Magazine died. You know, this is, I got to read this. You know, this was part of my childhood. My auntie gave us magazine subscriptions, and Mad Magazine was one of them. Mad Magazine told the truth about war advertising and the media. Patti Smith, after Mad, drugs were nothing. Alfred E. Newman, 1952 to 2019. That story, when it first broke, choked me up. We'll see if I can read it without choking. This was my childhood. It was born, and the magazine was born, and right before I was. In the summer of 1954, almost any American kid who had the wherewithal to scrounge up a dime could walk into a drugstore and buy the sharp satire on Senator Joseph McCarthy found in the pages of Mad Comics number 17. The Army McCarthy hearings had dominated television, and the Wisconsin demagogue had finally alienated so many establishment forces that the Senate was at last moving to censure him. Harvey Kurtzman, the editorial impresario who created Mad, was impressed neither by McCarthy's buffoonery nor the more deliberative political theater of the Senate. Kurtzman seized on the television drama to recast the whole McCarthy fiasco as a game show called What's My Shine? Oh, who's this? Yes. Hello. Are you saying it? I'm waiting. Who's calling, please? What did you want to talk about? Hello? Can you hear me? Yes. Now, who's calling, please? Seth. You've been busted, man. You're not legit. You're a Kiwi farmer. Yeah, you're a Kiwi farmer. Goodbye. Anyway, What's My Sign? A travesty of a then popular program called What's My Line? In real life, such as it was, McCarthy brandished a photo purporting to show Army Secretary Robert T. Stevens meeting along with David Schein, a McCarthy crony and reputed lover of McCarthy's aide, Roy Cohn. That photo turned out to be cropped so that others at the meeting were out of sight. In the Mad version, drawn by cartoonist Jack Davis, Senator Joseph McCartaway, complete with Roy Cohn hanging over his shoulder like a sinister ventriloquist, flaunts a fake photo to prove that even Stephen is in reality a red-skinned. As both press and onlookers go bug-eyed, McCartaway fills the TV screen with a picture of the cabinet secretary with a tomahawk and warp on it. Mad satire was directed not just at McCarthy's dishonesty, but also more pointedly at the medium that allowed the rabble-rouser to rule the national stage. In Mad, McCarthy and other senators are performing for the TV camera and work their preliminary parliamentary antics to fit the time allotted to them by a commercial sponsor. Politics, the story suggests, is just another TV show. The sting of this message has only gotten sharper under the presidency of Donald Trump, Fox News addict and Roy Cohn's proud political acolyte. Last week, the magazine's current owners, DC Comics, announced that Mad, which started as a comic book in 1952 and became a magazine in 1955, is on the verge of suspending publication. According to news reports, the magazine will continue publishing issues filled with reprint material to fill out existing subscriptions, but it'll cease buying new material. Born in the troubled era of McCarthyism, Mad is dying in another squalid political epoch. Mad was arguably America's greatest and most influential satirical magazine. A strange claim to make of a publication that was mostly read throughout its existence by children and teenagers, but still justifiable. Mad was often rude, tasteless, and childish, which made it all the more potent as a tributary of youth culture. The kids who read Mad learned from it to distrust authority, whether in the form of politicians, advertisers, or media figures. I picked up the what me worried, okay, this happened, next. And keep smiling. That was my lesson from Alfred E. Newman. It's like, I'm not going to get bent out of shape about this shit. That was a lesson that successive generations took to heart. Without Mad, it's impossible to imagine Underground Comics, National Lampoon, Saturday Night Live, The Simpsons, Daily Show, or Stephen Colbert. In the historical sweep of American culture, Mad is the crucial link between the anarchic humor of the Marx Brothers and the counterculture that emerged in the 1960s. Writing in the New York Times Magazine on the occasion of Mad's 25th anniversary in 1977, Tony Hiss and Jeff Lewis argued month after month and issue after issue in a relentlessly good-natured way. Mad told us that everything was askew, that there were lies in advertising, that other comic books lied, that movies and television lied, that adults in general, when faced with the unknown, lied. Hiss and Lewis cited an impressive array of cultural figures who attested to Mad's shaping force. Gloria Steinem said there was a spirit of satire and irreverence in Mad that was very important, and it was the only place you could find it in the 50s. Singer Patti Smith made a similar point more succinctly. After Mad, drugs were nothing. Kurtzman, the genius who was the wellspring for MAD, sometimes denied any political intent. I never regarded myself as political, he once said. I don't think the fact that you have a platform necessarily gives you a qualification to make a speech. Admittedly, he had made an exception for McCarthy because he was so evil. It was like doing a satire on Hitler. But the truth was more complicated. Kurtzman was born in 1924 with something of a red diaper baby. His parents subscribed to the Daily Worker and sent him to the famously progressive Camp Kinderland. I guess that's what a red diaper baby is. Kurtzman didn't inherit his parents' politics, but his background left him hostile to conventional American culture, which he regarded as filled with lies. Prior to MAD, Kurtzman's major achievement as a cartoonist was writing and editing two war comics, Two-Fisted Tales and Frontline Combat, which were nearly unique in their unvarnished portrayal of the brutality of the Korean War. It struck me that war is not a very nice business, and the comic book companies dealing in the subject matter of war tended to make war glamorous. Kurtzman recalled, that offended me, so I turned my stories to anti-war. Unlike the war comics, MAD was meant to be funny. But the same underlying ethic, a detestation of lies, guided Kurtzman whether he was doing realistic stories or parodies. Kurtzman's satire aimed at uncovering the deceptions of media and popular culture. Mickey Mouse in Kurtzman's unvarnished version became Mickey Rodent, while Super Duperman was a creep who had an unhealthy fixation on Lois Payne, girl reporter. Kurtzman produced those war books in MAD for EC Comics, run by Bill Gaines, a young publisher who enjoyed risks and didn't mind legal trouble. The bread and butter of EC Comics were horror comics like Tales from the Crypt, which were so lurid they helped incite a best-selling tirade, a Senate investigation, and the eventual creation of an industry-wide censorship code. Gaines' Senate testimony was almost as much of a farce as MAD's rendition of the McCarthy hearings. Papped up on weight loss pills, Gaines made a sweaty and unconvincing witness the hostile senators were not about to buy his advanced theories that teenagers can be trusted with challenging art. These were ideas that might win more favors in other decades, but went completely against the grain of conventional wisdom in the 1950s. You had to just look at the TV shows in the 1950s, and married couples didn't even sleep in the same bed. The early years of MAD were generally dangerous times for Gaines. Lyle Stewart, Gaines' business manager, was arrested for sale of disgusting literature in the form of an EC comic book story that parodied Mickey Spillane's violent detective novels. The story was called My Gun is the Jury, a riff on Spillane's I the Jury. Stewart faced a jail term of a year before the judge threw out the case. Besieged by the Senate, the legal system, parent groups, other publishers, and distributors, Gaines had to give up comic books. Turning MAD into a magazine was his lifeboat. Initially, Gaines and Kurtzman were simpatico, although they eventually split in 1956 when Kurtzman asked for half ownership of the magazine. When they were on good terms, Gaines didn't even mind when Kurtzman parodies of ads miffed advertisers. In fact, after the break with Kurtzman, Gaines decided to make MAD ad-free, a policy that continued until 2001, nearly a decade after Gaines' death in 1992. Boy, by then I was done reading it by 1972. Gaines would cite the progressive tabloid PM, which briefly flourished in the 1940s, as a precedent for MAD's no advertising policy. In those days, there was no such thing as running an anti-cigarette story because they were terrified of losing their cigarette advertising. Gaines noted, so PM comes along and tears into everything and doesn't give a shit. Gaines had the same nonchalance that he admired in PM. One MAD mock ad in the 1960s had Adolf Hitler endorsing smoking. The parody ran, "Hi, I'm Adolf Hitler." In the 30s and 40s, we knocked off millions of people and built countless cemeteries. That's nothing. I want to talk about a really fantastic cemetery pillar. MAD's willingness to tweak the noses of the powers that be that earned it many enemies. In 1961, retired Brigadier General Clyde J. Watts claimed MAD was the most insidious communist propaganda in the United States today. In 1979, Bill Wilkinson, Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan, wrote to the magazine saying, "You and the two communist-run magazine are obviously trying to do away with the great red, white, and blue and promote radicalism in this country's youth." Tragically, the subversive publication so angered Watts and Wilkinson won't be around to poison future American generations. Sad. Okay. Now, what's going on here? Yeah, why would Robert McKim want to mess with me? Why keep dropping this on the floor and keep landing with the open side up? God, I wish these people would just leave me the fuck out of their lives. No, I really, really wish these people would just leave me out of their lives. Hello, minded mystery. I'm just fine, thank you. I was talking about the news. I'm going back to the news. Jeffrey Epstein case was cold until a Miami Herald reporter got accusers to talk. They had there's a complex web they've woven with this. Well, shit. It's a New York Times article. Some of a bitch. I don't really want to go through that. Now, there's another one. Why it's really bad for Epstein. He's being prosecuted by the Southern District of New York's Public Corruption Unit. There's a lot of people going to go down with him. Going to go right down with him. Bunch of people. Possibly 2 presidents. And here, this is cute. This is Rod Serling. Enter Donald J. Trump, a 2-bit con man, television huckster, a denizen of gaudy casinos and smoke-filled back rooms, who conned himself into the biggest job of all. He is our guide to a new realm you won't find on any map, a world of his own creation where words like truth and lie no longer have meaning, where man's darkest instincts are given license, and where things like human decency and tolerance are relics of a bygone day. Case in point, Mr. Donald Trump, a man with one foot in his mouth and the other in the twilight zone. This was an ugly story. A Northern Californian tribal elder was blown away on his own property by somebody that was like living there with him. It's unclear what the motive was, but it's really sad. He just got like shot, killed. He's an author. He had written an autobiography called Walking Where We Lived. The personal history that involves 6 generations of his family and the ultimate survival of the Mono, the North Fork Mono Indians who lived for centuries in a remote region of California, Sierra Nevada. Here, I'll give you. This is sad. Oh, that's a tam. Rainbow, this is kind of a raggedy one. I need a fresh one. When the kids kind of faded, washed out. And underneath it, underneath it, there's a big old bald spot. Back to the news. See what else is in there. This is a wild news day. Secretary of State Pompeo unveils creation of Human Rights Commission. And here's PBS, which is, pretty credible. This is disturbing, though, because the Trump administration said Monday that it will review the role of human rights in American foreign policy, appointing a commission expected to elevate concerns about religious freedom and abortion. It's like, where's the human rights groups accuse the administration of politicizing foreign policy in a way that could undermine protections for marginalized populations, including the gay, lesbian, and transgender community. Democratic senators have raised concern about the panel's intent and composition, fearing it would consist of members who hold views hostile to women's rights and blow away existing human rights treaties. Yeah, I mean, these people are like just like ultra nationalist religious fanatics. Oh, I should probably read this. See what they want to overturn, or they want to review the 1948 Universal Declaration on Human Rights from the UN. That's what they want to review. I should read that. Let's see what it is that they're upset with, that they want to change. Because they really want the right to, like, refuse, serve. I mean, like, even mixed marriage. They want to go back to the 1950s. How long is this? It's probably, like, real long. Universal direction of blah, blah, blah. Seems pretty reasonable stuff there. Anyway. Yeah, I don't put up with any of that shit. No, he's gone. He's gone. I'm not even a cross-dresser. And just the whole use of the word. No. No, just the idea that there's gendered clothing to begin with is ridiculous. No. They want to call me a fake. So I don't even want to like address this. My history is pretty like solidly laid out, and I'm an intersex person, and I lived with gender dysphoria all my life, and I got several doctors. I have doctors' letters. I don't even dress in femme very very often. Behind the skirt, I don't do it at all. you know, and I like to try and make my hair look nice. And sometimes I'll paint my nails. And you know, these people have this like really strange um, perception of what it is, you know, what qualifies a person with a penis as a woman. They're passable or validated or whatever. And no, no, I ain't taking it off. I'll show it. I have another one somewhere. No, I'm not. You're not. You know, you're on thin ice, buddy. Next time you upset me in any little way, next time I feel like you're playing me, you're done. You understand me? You're done. Next time I feel like I'm being played, fuck you. You're gone. I'm about to use my very last rolling paper, which means I'm going to cut this off. Yeah, it seems so. You know, I'm not going to play it. I just, they want to like, paint a picture of me that isn't me. Drag me into conversations that are irrelevant to me, that they think, um, you know, and project a lot of their fucking perversions on me. You know, and it's like I don't even want to know uh, about Bob. You know, he's an angry old man. I don't know, toxic old man, an angry, frustrated old man. I don't give a fuck what he's saying about anybody. So this is what um, I don't feel like it's constructive to confront people like this. That it's not what I know. It's not what my readers want to see. It's not what my listeners want to hear. They want to hear. They want to see me smiling. They want to hear me saying funny things. They want to hear me playing pretty music. They don't want to hear me talking shit. Easy. It's a no-brainer for me. But just on a bigger stage, um, you know, especially in LGBT matters, it's like the anti-LGBT crowd is like dwindling, aging and dwindling steadily. Has been for many years. Unfortunately, they're teaching their kids, and acceptance in the kids is slipping in the last few years. Um, and I just feel like, you know, we're talking about lactation adjustment earlier. I feel like, you know, here's kids that are like doing it. They're being queer kids, and they're happy, and their families are happy, well-adjusted people, and you know, fuck the dumb shit. Um, there's no point in indulging haters that have all these like misconceptions about queerness to begin with. No, that was one of the things in my news feed today. Hello, Miss Rad. That was one of the things in my news feed today. Was about stop using fucking pseudoscience to put down transgender people. You know, get real. And that's what I get into it for tone policing. the young militants get mad at me for tone policing. It's just that the acceptance, that we're increasing, and visibility's been like just increasing a lot. People are coming out and being visible and staying visible. People are getting publicly going through their transitions all the way through surgery publicly, video the whole thing from the hospital. Even there were a couple of kids in the last couple of weeks just did it. Emily Fishbow, who's Emily Tressa, she's been kind of a high profile kid at Instagram. Just went through the hospital, had her surgery right around Pride Day, and broadcast every day from the hospital a little bit. And since about 1990, 95, the common between 1995 and 1990 there were big conflicts between psychologists like Zucker and Blanchard and McHugh, and there's a bunch of them, and they're just pathologizing homosexuality and the transgender condition. There's it's mental illness to them. And what's actually come out in clinical studies over the years is that, yeah, that's pretty stones over in the left corner there. There's lots of pretty stones. What come out in clinical studies is that there is a biological. This is a statement I made earlier. So people are talking about gender being a gender roles. I have stones starting at pennies, going up to over $100. What kind of stones are you interested in? Hi, hello, Kenneth. I'd sure like for these guys to find a home. Malachite slabs, nice fat ones. They're a little bit too pitted to like really make big cabochons from. But they're pretty slabs. Got several of them. $25 delivered to your door. There's 5 of them I'd do for $100. So what kind of stones are you interested in? What's your budget like? I wasn't really planning on showing stone. I probably need more light for this, huh? Yep. So let's what's your favorite stone? Any particular stone you're looking for? Here's some the grooviest of goodies are right here. That's not the one. It's buried. Let's start with some rutile crystal. Let's see if we can't point the camera down at him. We sure can. Let's get the keyboard away. I'll give you some size. So that's about the size of a quarter, but it's not a quarter. These guys are like really sweet, rutile included quartz crystals. They're kind of, some of them are kind of smoky. So it's a record keeper. Got these kind of watermarks on the sides of it. Let's see if we can get the light on it. Yeah, there you go. It's got them all the way around this etching. So to this side, this is where it was like on something. This is probably where it was on the host rock. This one here, I'd like to get $50 delivered. It's this material of this quality sells usually for about 20 cents a gram. And I think that's a lot more than $50. I'll tell you in a minute. Yeah, it's about, yeah, that's 232 grams. So like at 20 cents a gram, that's $46. And I'd do that with shipping. These other ones are much cheaper. You know, this puppy I'd do for about $20. It's a nice cluster. These are all full of rutile. Rutile's real important stone for medicine work. And these guys, some of them are rutile, and I've got a couple with sprays. So that's a rutile with a hematite crystal on there. Yes, I do play saxophone. Thank you. And then, you know, I got all kind of small ones here, little itty bitty ones that are. Let's see if we can get them. We can see them pretty well. Oh, I dropped the coin. Why would I sell kidney stones? Does anybody actually do that? That would be really weird. Move this out of the way. I have to look this up. Kidney stones for sale. I mean, I tell people that if there's a stone they're looking for, just ask, and I'll see if I can get it. Well, it's a Google kidney stone for sale. Shopping. Medical chart showing the signs of kidney stone. A kidney stone plush toy. Kidney COP, calcium, it's a kidney formula to eat. Grass-fed cow kidney, meat delivery for $1.50. Kidney stone and that. No, nobody's selling kidney stones. Got all kinds of stuff to cure kidney stones. but no actual kidney stones. They want to sell for healing kidney stones. Let's see what's in there. There's hematite and what kind of on me? This one. It's that's some pure lapis lazuli crystal in sterling silver, a little heart that I caught. It's one of the first stones I ever caught. It's getting a little dark. Needs buffing up. This is I'd be willing to sell this. This is my personal piece, but I have another. I have two stones. Yeah. I need to get like $50 for it. Oh, the flag's not for sale. The artwork is photography, but well, there's some stuff that's I need to my artwork because those are photographs of mine. I have a whole book full of those. Give you a good deal on that. Someone at the door. This ought to be good for a few laughs. So what? For pizzas for Tommy? I hope you're not expecting payment. Yeah. I didn't order no pizzas. Is this 160 East? It sure is, but I didn't order no pizzas. All right. Sorry about that. Where are you guys? Domino's? Yep. Have them call me, please, because like there's criminal complaint that I'm building on the people that do that shit. Sorry about that. Is your name Tommy? Yeah. But you didn't order these pizzas? No, hell no. If I'd ordered pizzas, I would have paid for them on the fucking phone. I came through the internet. Huh? It came through on the internet. Yeah, well, you should never deliver something like that up. Okay, so I need to come into this house? Nothing? If I order something, I'll make sure I let y'all know. I don't order nothing on the internet. Sorry about that, assholes. Fucking assholes. Children. You know, people who need to hurt somebody to feel big. Small people. Totally small people. That caught, someone ordered 3 pizzas. Yeah, I can. I'm gonna cut this out right about now. And if you have a serious interest in making a purchase, I'd be glad to do a private showing. Give me a holler at Facebook or my Gmail, and I would make arrangements, and I'll do a private showing. And there's art all over the place. Let's see if I can get it around the corner. You can't hardly see this. That whole corner. It's all full of art and antiques. I have no idea who the fuck sent me the pizzas, but it's just stupid shit. That's just nasty, mean, stupid shit. That's a joint. So moving right along, back to the news. Oh, yeah. There was a demonstration where the Christians United for Israel Summit. Boy, that's just, that Israel just totally manipulates our government. Just whatever they want, they just twist it out of them. Between the Christians, and there's more Christians. There's 5-10 times as many Christian Zionists as Jews. Just crazy. I don't think so. I get played. I've been getting played by internet trolls for so many years that and let's see if we can. There's the door. What's that? Can I interest you in some photography? Yeah, well, if anybody comes to that door, I'm gonna call the cops first. Well, I'm not expecting anybody. And I'm not, I don't know, and I'm not gonna call the cops. I probably should. Put my weapon in my pocket. Kind of high school shit. I'm 65 years old. Well, I don't do guns. If I know I'm gonna be in a problem, though, that if I know I'm facing Mortal Kombat, I'm likely to have a razor blade in my hand. Oh, here's an idea. Let's make this is Willy Wonka talking here. Let's make police brutality settlements come from police retirement funds or pension plans instead of our tax dollars, and watch how fast police brutality plummets to an all-time low. This is an interesting one, too. In 1983, Trump would not allow one of my staff engineers on board his yacht because he was black. We canceled the contract, and he tried to sue me for breach of contract, and he lost. By Jesse Parasol. Spread the word. Then two dogs and a bird barking. There's a cockatoo that was mimicking the dogs. It's kind of hilarious. Then we're trashing on Kamala Harris. If you're pro prison labor, pro false convictions, pro vindictive bill writing, FOSTA, pro police asset forfeiture, anti police body cam, pro bank fraud, Stephen Mnuchin case, pro solitary confinement, pro rampant increase in convictions, pro police state, pro U.S. imperialism, do I have a candidate for you? Kamala Harris. Mick Jagger in Massachusetts was talking about July 4th being a hard day for the Brits. Where is it? This is funny. He was in Boston. He said he hoped everyone had a great 4th of July weekend. Added that the 4th had always been a touching holiday for us Brits. In fact, the president made a very good point in his speech the other night. Jagger deadpan. He said, if only the British had held on to the airports, the whole thing might have gone differently for us. There was something in here I definitely wanted to. Oh, it's an Esquire story. Let me make sure it's fresh. Oh yeah, that was the big news. This is it's like you're not paying attention to what's really important. A new report on Trump's foreign business holdings points to a gobsmacking level of corruption. There's a sprawling infrastructure of conflicts of interest, entanglements with foreign governments, and shady characters and flat-out lies. And this is from June 5th, so it's not really that fresh, but it's not that old. And this is what we're not paying attention to. And this is what they just there was just a ruling in the emoluments case. It's all moving forward now, and this is what it's going to expose. Is they subpoenaed like 40 or some odd, I don't know. It's like it's breathtaking. It's just overwhelming. It's just okay. Well, is the system going to work or is it going to fail? And we're going to have fascist, authoritarian, full-blown fucking martial law in this country. The Trump International Hotel in D.C. is the beacon of the new swamp. Okay, he didn't build that. What the fuck hotel was that? That's nothing he built. That was built in the 30s, 20s or 30s, that building. That 2 years into his presidency, Donald Trump continues to make money from properties and licensing deals in nearly 24 countries around the world, fanning the flames and concerns of the Trump administration is subject to unprecedented levels of foreign influence. Yeah, it's in every one of the list of countries in which Trump reportedly has business interests includes Argentina, Azerbaijan, Bermuda, Brazil, Canada, China, Dominican Republic, Georgia, India, Indonesia, Ireland, Israel, Mexico, Panama, Philippines, Qatar, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Scotland, South Korea, St. Martin, St. Vincent, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, and Uruguay. In every one of these instances, Trump's dual role as a businessman making money in the country and a president making, oh, this is a local number. Who's this? Hello? Hello? Every time he has to make a decision with regard to Saudi Arabia, which is pouring money into his hotels, the American public cannot be sure he's made it in their interest or their own personal business interest. This is why Jimmy Carter was forced to divest from his peanut farm. If you occupy an office of public trust, you must be confident that you can be trusted to act to the best of your ability in their interest alone. And you wonder why the president is so desperate to keep his tax returns secret. After every major party candidate since Watergate released theirs. Yeah, there's a creepy guy who's just sent me that caller sent the pizza. The creepy guy that's been calling sent the pizza. They're saying he's sitting outside in Silverado. No Silverado. I was looking at a message. The message said, Mr. Tudor, the pizza is just the minimal flex of the Hoffman Group's muscle. Come outside to my enforcer outside in the white Chevy Silverado or it will worsen. There's no white Chevy Silverado out there. This is children. They're mean, stupid children trying to drag me into their reality. Yeah, if you have to hurt other people in order to feel powerful, you're an extremely weak individual. Now here is the article, this Scientific American blog. Stop using phony science to justify transphobia. Oh shit. This Scientific American is going behind a paywall now. I want to get this your last free article. This is just a fucking blog. I wouldn't buy your magazine to read a blog. Intellectual dark web. I'm gonna lose this too. It's a New York Times article. Fuck that. Fuck all of that. Close all this shit down. Oh, Michelle, I'm just doing, I guess. I need to block somebody on my phone. Well, this has been going 2 hours. I think I've had enough of this shit. Hungry, and I didn't get through. I didn't get anywhere near it, but just all this shit, all this, just constant, just all these like things that are deteriorating. And here, Navajo water supply is more horrific than Flint, but no one cares because they're Native American. And 3 Ohio pastors indicted for trafficking young girls for sex. This is like, they're making some busts, and like big ones, and they don't, it just goes all the way up to the top. Sex it's just like a lot of people disappear, and that's where they go. Why wouldn't the high point, here's from Jeff Tiedrick, whoever he is, why shouldn't the high point of every 4th of July be a demented old racist standing at a podium and chittering like a coked up squirrel as his decaying brain pinballs from random subject to random subject, while generals and tanks bear sad witness to this third world spectacle? He only got the commandant of the Coast Guard up there. The other state wouldn't have anything to do with it. And then they want to deny climate change while meanwhile the White House basement flooded last night. It rained so hard, and the streets were flooded. Here's cars that are up to their windows, and driving that. Oh, and then while nobody's looking, the Brits are in on this too. The Royal Marines seized Iranian tankers under order from the U.S. They grabbed in the Mad. They grabbed a tanker to prevent it from delivering the oil to Syria. And here's Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book. That was one of the things I wanted to read to all tonight. Donald Trump is in there. Alan Dershowitz, Barack Akud, Courtney Love. Who else? All sorts of goodies. Alec Baldwin, Ted Kennedy, but he's dead. He can't. David Koch, Andrew Jarecki, New York Post gossip Richard Johnson, Griffin Dunn, yeah. According to the FBI affidavit, Rodriguez described the address book and the information contained within it as holy grail or golden nugget to unraveling Epstein's sprawling child sex network. But despite having been subpoenaed for everything he had on his former boss, Rodriguez didn't share it with the FBI or Palm Beach Police Department detectives investigating Epstein. Instead, he tried to make $50,000 score by covertly peddling the Black Book to one of the attorneys launching lawsuits at Epstein on behalf of his victims. The plot backfired when the attorney reported Rodriguez to the FBI, and he was promptly charged with obstruction of justice, but not before he had, according to the FBI affidavit, laying out the crime, marking up the book, and accompanying notepad with handwritten notes that contained information material to the underlying investigation that would have been extremely useful in investigating and prosecuting the case, including the names and contact information, material of witnesses, and additional victims. Oh, this guy's dead. Where'd they get this? Oh, he tried. Oh, he tried to sell it in 2009. This was part of the suppressed shit from that they're digging dredging back up. Crazy. White exceptionalism. This was the topic of conversation. White exceptionalism. That's something that some right wingers took offense to. White exceptionalism denies that white men have inherited measurable concrete advantages from centuries of institutionalized white supremacy. That's white privilege. Exceptionalism is the notions that they're something greater about them. Let's see what. Oh, this was written in 2010 about Avatar. Fetishism is alive and kicking. Last year, the film Avatar recycled stereotypical images of the Native American as a noble savage, presumably hoping that nobody would notice the film was simply an adult version of Pocahontas. Just because you made the Native Americans blue doesn't make it any less racist. But on a flight to a conference last week, I encountered what might be the strangest example of fetishism yet. It came in the form of a father, and he was worried about his son. Turn toward his son, who happened to be his son sometimes got down on himself. When I expressed concern about this, Jim began to explain to me how his son's problems stem from the fact that affirmative action tells white boys that they are second-class citizens. He urged me to think about the psychological impact this was going to have on a generation of white men unfairly punished for being the only non-minority. What ensued was a genuinely fascinating conversation about reverse discrimination and what I'm going to call white exceptionalism. The idea that white men occupy a unique position, wholly set apart from other groups by their role as the sacrificial lambs necessary to atone for America's racist past, completely disavowing its racist present, incidentally. Clearly, white exceptionalism is related to American exceptionalism. Just as American exceptionalism idealizes America as emerging wholly untainted by the original European sins of imperialism, military conquest, and class domination. White exceptionalism denies that white men have inherited measurable concrete advantages from centuries of institutionalized white supremacy. What is most striking about white exceptionalism, however, is its construction of racism as a historical pattern rather than a contemporary structure. Last spring, a couple of reports came out on the racial and gender wealth gaps, as you can see in this great report from Democracy Now! Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, oh God, there was no, there was no. I don't. The shady pastor and is just a fruitcake that he's got some family and that's it. I don't even think any of them people are family. I'm really not. I'm not going to talk on the phone. I'm not answering your restricted line. It's been over 2 hours. I'm going to quit this shit. Happy day. Thanks for joining me. I'm gone.